All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we're going to be in the 140-pound division where Teofimo Lopez is running his mouth about Gervonta Tank Davis ahead of the fight that he has with Josh Taylor for Josh Taylor's WBO 140-pound title. You can't make it up with this guy, Teofimo Lopez. It seems like no matter what he does, no matter how he tries, his head is in the wrong place. And he continues to sing this song of mistreatment at the hands of a system that favors black fighters over everybody else, apparently, which I have to say is mind-boggling. But before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button if you like the video at the end. Also, thank you to everybody that comes by and supports the channel on a regular basis. But let's get into this because this is worth being talked about. Teofimo Lopez has a fight coming up this weekend against Josh Taylor. Teofimo Lopez is a former undisputed champion at 147 pounds, having held the IBF, the WBA, the WBC franchise belt, and the WBO. I think I said all four of those. If I didn't, forgive me. But some people do not consider him a undisputed champion because he has the franchise title that he won off of Vasily Lomachenko. But I'm not nitpicking or none of that stuff with that. Hey, man, the guy had 4 titles in 4 of the major championship sanctioning bodies. And the WBC themselves said that Teofimo Lopez was. So who am I to argue about who their champion is? I'm not. However, he is fighting a guy named Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor is also a former undisputed champion, having held all 4 major belts at the 140-pound division, where the fight will be taking place. Over the last year or so, or 2 years, Josh Taylor has given up 3 of the 4 belts. So that's why he's still undefeated, has never been beaten, and is still in that particular weight class. This, my friend, will be a fight that is taking place in New York City. I do believe it's going to be in Madison Square Garden, the Hulu Ballroom, if they didn't already rename the Hulu Ballroom, or the Ballroom at MGM. But should be a very, very good fight. And you would think that Teofimo Lopez would be solely focused on this fight, that his mind would be right, and he would be looking to regain his title, his championship status against Josh Taylor. That does not appear to be the case because he is once again running his mouth about a lot of stuff that he shouldn't be talking about and really not making a lot of sense while he's doing it. If you were not privy to a conversation that took place on Ariel Helwani's podcast when Andre Ward was on there talking about his excellent documentary that he just produced with Showtime Sports called the book of I think it's Book of Ward, where he talked about his career. In the middle of an interview talking about that, he was asked about Teofimo Lopez and what he thought about Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor. And he mentioned that Teofimo Lopez's head just doesn't seem right. That he's talking in an interview, 1 second he's talking about the universe, then the next time he's talking about family, then he's talking about fighting, and it's like his head is never where it's supposed to be. In this particular instance, talking about Gervonta Davis, it talks about how Gervonta Davis has never called him out, isn't calling him out to try to get a fight with him, and that Gervonta Davis has been given a path. Was given a path of success by Floyd Mayweather Jr. and how he was brought along and how he was promoted to be this superstar, much more so than Teofimo Lopez, believed was done with him. This also echoes what Teofimo Lopez had said about Top Rank and how he believed that Top Rank was going out of their way to promote fighters like Devin Haney, who is the undisputed champion at 135 pounds, and Shakur Stevenson, who was a champion at 1 26, moved up, became a unified champion at 130, and is now campaigning in the 135-pound division. Teofimo Lopez believed that Top Rank was looking out for them and doing more promoting of them than they were of him. Teofimo Lopez is more than likely going to get beat by Josh Taylor and finish his circular motion down the toilet bowl of boxing with the thought process that this man is displaying. Because number one, he needs to be focused on that guy because that's a very good fighter in Josh Taylor. Number two, what he's talking about is not based in reality. And whenever you're running around talking about things that are not based in reality, you have to wonder when reality walks up and hits you in the face, whether or not you're going to be able to deal with it, right? The truth is the truth is undefeated. You know what I mean? So when he says that, but look at what actually happened with Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez was promoted heavily, very early and very quickly by Top Rank, much more so than Shakur Stevenson was, who also signed to Top Rank around the same time. There was a point in time when Shakur was at 126 pounds where Shakur Stevenson was being interviewed by Max Kellerman, and Shakur had to complain that there wasn't a moment in that interview where the conversation did not shift from Shakur and what was going on with Shakur to what was going on with Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez at the time was the guy that was knocking people out, and knocking them out in very, very dramatic fashions. He was doing backflips. He was standing there doing backflips in the ring after he won, right? Doing Heisman Trophy poses and, being put on, being featured in fights right before the Heisman Trophy ceremony was put on, or right after the Heisman Trophy ceremony, right? One of those big dates on ESPN where there's a lot of viewers on ESPN that Top Rank likes to capitalize on. So it's the exact opposite. And then, especially when you look at Gervonta Davis, who for the first 10 fights of his career wasn't even signed to a major promoter. He had to fight. He was fighting in ballroom fights until he got signed with Floyd Mayweather Jr. And then there's one thing that Gervonta did that Teofimo Lopez was not able to do during his career, which was avoid losing. Avoid having a lot of drama between you and your promoter, even though there was most definitely has been drama between Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather Jr., but nothing like all that the Triller nonsense that was going on with Teofimo Lopez and Bob Arum, where he forced a fight to purse bid, then went and lost to George Kambosos, right? So, man, cry me a river with all of that, Teofimo Lopez, with all of that, how the world is mistreating you. But at the end of the day, man, he's a very, very talented fighter. He's a very skilled fighter. He, at this point in time in his career, is an experienced fighter, and hopefully learn from it and from the ups and downs that he's had going when he gets in this ring with Josh Taylor coming up this Saturday. But if he doesn't, and there isn't anything wrong with Josh Taylor, man, Josh Taylor may very well make an example and make an example of this dude, and that would be a bad look all around for Teofimo Lopez. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section, and with that, I'm out. Peace.